Folks, please welcome the director, Gudis Schneider. Thank you so much.
Hello. By the way, the word of the song, which Tzachi wrote, Tzachi is the main character. He writes this song, and the words are all the hipsters looks the same. I debated if to translate it or not, and I decided not to, and now I'm sorry.
I remember in the original version of seeing this that actually you see him performing at the end.
Yeah.
He's a performer. Tell us about our leads. They're amazing. Thank you.
Tzachi is like an indie singer, independent. He's just an amazing musician. He was trained like a classic. He's very indie. He doesn't. There are almost nothing of him online. And he's hardcore musician, a hardcore artist. He's a real artist. He's the real thing.
And our lead lady?
And Meyran is an actress and a tough girl. And that's why I chose her. She's...
They're fantastic. And their chemistry, and that's the first thing I wanted to ask was it like so scripted? How did you make their chemistry of their dialogue work so well? Because it's all dialogue.
I don't know. I think the thing about them is that they are equal. And that's why I chose her. I chose him first, and then I tried to find someone to match him. And almost every actor either wasn't tough enough or looked down at him, and they were both at the same level. I felt, and that's the chemistry for me.
And were the scenes more improvised or were they strict?
Very strict dialogue. I'm very proud of the dialogue.
Amazing. No, and it feels so natural, and their relationship really. It's really one of the things I love about this film is that you get this very natural feel not only of them but of life in Tel Aviv too. As someone who's also lived there and is familiar with Tel Aviv, it's a real love letter to Tel Aviv.
Yeah. I think the thing we had going for us was the fact that we were very low budget. It was only us and a recorder and a cameraman. That's it. No makeup. No. Jasmine here can tell you no makeup, nothing. And it was so intimate, and it enabled us to sneak inside the city. No one noticed us. We shot in New York. We shot the same way. We went to Katz Deli where. Because of when Harry met Sally. There's a shot in Katz Deli, and we shot inside Katz Deli. Nobody knows that we were there. And we just went in and out, and we hid the camera, and we took a shot in Katz Deli.
I'm a little worried about the rights of this film. And
no.
how
We didn't do it. We closed the deli, especially for us. All the people are extras. Paid extras.
Another thing that it captures really well, and this is I'm going now into the American perspective, just in terms of Israeli life and Israeli life being, for instance, like the opening scene, it's military.
Yeah.
And it's not the military that we see on the news.
Yeah.
It's actually the real Israeli military, where it's a bunch of teenagers who are hanging out and trying to goofing around and finding their girlfriends.
Yeah, I think I stole the structure of the movie from When Harry Met Sally. I simply stole it, and When Harry Met Sally begins in college, and your college is our army. Our army it's like the same ages, the same wild atmosphere that anything goes, and teenagers, and.
And it's a universal story of relationships.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody here could relate to it, but I definitely related. And yet the specifics are so Israeli and so much. And I think that's a recipe for success when you're being authentic to your environment, and
Thank
yet telling a story about people. I by the way, all I want to do after I see this movie is get a shawarma. Anybody
Yeah,
else?
me too.
It's me, okay.
There are 5 pitas in the. I don't know why I chose only pita.
How is this playing around the world?
We've just started. This is the second screening. We had one in London. We've just started. I don't know. You're the first audience that. How did you get it? I'm asking the English speakers if you got it. I don't know if it translates. I have no idea.
I'm going to ask 2 more questions, and then we'll open it to some questions from the audience, and they could also share their thoughts if you're really up for it. Well, there's really 3. First of all, we talked about this before. I feel bad for the other woman at the end.
Yeah.
The one who
yeah,
gets
I
left
feel
behind.
bad for her too.
She's
No, we took a shot of her, and it wasn't good. We had a problem with it. Something that there are many mistakes in the movie. I see them all. This is one of them. I can live with it.
No, I mean knowing also the style in which it was made and it being really a guerrilla style film, you're allowed to make people disappear. I wanted to know, why does she go back to him? Why she's here in New York, and I don't know if you changed it at all. I remembered it.
I changed it a bit.
You changed it, okay. But why does she choose to go back to him?
I have no idea, because I wanted them to to kiss in the end, because she misses him. She realized he's not he's her equal. He's her equal, and he's the only one who knows her and who sees her. That's what I try to do, but I'm not sure.
I'm vaguely remembering that there was something with a song that while she's in New York, that she hears a song that.
No, there was a conversation with her mother.
With her mother.
And her mother tells her that I don't remember what she did, but I changed it.
Well, here's my theory. I'm giving you my answer to it. She's sending him these pictures of the Brooklyn Bridge or whatever bridge she's standing under. These beautiful pictures of New York and the landscape, and he's standing there by his window of Tel Aviv, which some people might find to be a beautiful city and has its beautiful sides.
Not this one.
Not that angle.
No.
And there are ugly sides to Tel Aviv, but that's her home.
Yeah.
That's her place.
Yeah.
That's where she feels it.
Okay, I'll take it. No, I'll take it. If it's believable, no, never mind.
I'll try to convince you more later. My last question before we take some from the audience is the transformations. You're on a small budget film, so I'm assuming you didn't have like a great wardrobe and makeup provider that
we had nothing.
That made them look younger and older. And I mean, you shot this. I'm assuming you also didn't shoot this over many years, but
I did shoot it over a year and a half. We waited for him to grow the beard. We shot the main until he takes out the tomato. We shot it like over a year, 3 days a week, a month, 2 or 3, and then we waited for half a year for him to lose weight. He lost a lot of weight, and we didn't shoot it correctly. we were so excited to film the last scene that we forgot to take a good shot of how much weight he lost, which he did. So he worked almost for nothing for all this weight. I could have faked it with the clothes.
But it's something about like not really seeing him, the mysteriousness of it also works.
That's my excuse also.
We'll collaborate our stories. Folks, we'd love to make you a part of this conversation. Anyone have any questions or comments? We're going to pass a microphone around.
I was surprised to see that the screenwriter was Liat El-Kayam.
Yeah, she's.
Now I understand why she stopped going to the airport and interviewing people.
You know her column.
Can you say anything about the process of writing it and your work with her on doing it?
Liat is my life partner, and we met actually. No, she's not. She's home with our 2 daughters. Elik is one of our daughters, and the process of writing. She told me not to answer a question on her behalf. She instructed me specifically not to answer a question about her. She said she can speak for herself. She not now, but she can.
But from your perspective, the writing process with her?
It's complicated. Let's say complicated. Can call it complicated. Yeah.
You're saying it inspired some breakups and back togethers and stuff like that.
Some fights and some plate throwing. A few.
Other questions, folks? I have many more. If not, so we got on this side coming up.
Hi. Can you talk a little bit about your use of English interspersed in the script? How you use it?
We are. I feel like we are a province of America. Culturally speaking, we are. There is. If you read War and Peace, there is so much paragraphs there in French. The Russian used to speak French like we speak English. We put a lot of English in me and my friends and my daughters, just because we watch so much American television. So it's part of the culture. We people in Israel speak like that. It's just the fact, and the reason I chose to leave it in was because of Tolstoy, which he puts the French in the paragraphs are in French, because they spoke French and we speak English.
And I think in many ways it did capture kind of the young language of Tel Aviv and how people express
Israel,
themselves. The slang, the English.
The slang is a lot of English in the slang.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you some questions about the weight. He started out heavy, right? And then he lost.
Yeah.
That was part of the script, or that was his desire?
That was part of the script. I had to convince him to do it. He didn't want to do it. And the way I convinced him is we sat down and I told him, will money help? And he said yes. So I gave him 1,000 shekels for each kilo, and he lost like 20 kilos. And I owe him still 3,000 shekels.
That sounds like the budget of the entire movie, possibly.
Most of it.
Was there a question here in the middle? I'll pass you the mic.
I have 2 questions. I know somebody in Israel who calls their dog Jimmy, so I don't know, is that a popular name?
No, I don't know anyone. No, I do. I know a few Jimmys, yeah.
But,
it's a nickname.
It's a nickname, yeah.
Yeah.
But more, I was just very curious of why you didn't portray him with any job, career, like, you know.
I didn't want to. I wanted. The inspiration was when Harry met Sally, and the job they have. No one. He's a political consultant, and she's. I don't know what she. A journalist. I don't. Are you sure? I'm not sure. Okay, a journalist. Nobody knows it, and it doesn't. It's not the subject of the.
You made her. She said like she was.
She works in high tech.
High tech.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about.
Oh.
So
But nobody knows what people who work in high tech really do either. They work in high tech. I work in finance.
I thought I myself, and I'm kind of an artist, and I had all kind of jobs. And when you ask me today, I usually I don't have one answer, so I left it like vague. He was a cowboy. He translated some this and that.
There was something nice when the film originally ended with him like kind of like playing his music on the. You see, oh wait, this guy's a talented musician, and brings some more out and adds some more to the characters.
You think I should have
You should
left it?
re-edit it? I don't know. Open the film up again.
Yeah. I forgot something. No, man.
Yeah, please.
There was the final frame of the movie after the credits, and I wanted you to see the final frame because you saw it. It's
I noticed it there.
That's me and Meyran, not. That's me and the actor, not Tzachi and the actor, because we didn't have money to fly me here, so we faked it. I hope you thought it was Tzachi.
I did actually.
You did.
So it works. Once again, being vague gets you out of a lot. That's my lesson to life. One more thing I wanted to bring up was in terms of Tel Aviv life, which is something also to bring up to an American audience. Tel Aviv, for a secular person in their 20s and 30s.
Secular?
Secular is Chiloni.
Ah, okay.
Tel Aviv's the only place you can go. This is the only city. This is where everybody where culture is. No.
Yeah, I disagree too.
Making sounds. I grew up there, but Hadera is really where it's happening.
I'm from the Golan Heights.
Ashkelon is the hottest spot.
Afula, no. Don't go too far.
The percentages of young people who move to Tel Aviv is kind of, it could be compared to Brooklyn. So I think that there's really capturing this real moment and space that is so important. I think it's a film in some ways that can be looked at and studied as this is that moment in time for Israel.
Yeah, we shot it during COVID. You see the people with the mask, and it happened in real time. It can happen in real time. That part was real.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
for this wonderful
having
film.
me. Thank you for having me.
Join us Sunday. We have the film America.